Chosen one, pause right here. Don't scroll. This is not random. You didn't just stumble onto this message. Something in your spirit pulled you to stop, and that pull is not coincidence. It's confirmation. Because before anyone ever called your name, before anyone ever misunderstood your intensity, before anyone ever doubted your path, heaven already knew exactly who you were. You have no idea how set apart you truly are. And I don't say that lightly. I say that with weight, with reverence, with the kind of spiritual seriousness that only comes when God marks a life early. From the very beginning, there was something different about you. You felt it. Even as a child, you felt it. You sensed things other people ignored. You asked questions other people were too distracted to ask. You carried emotions deeper than your age could explain. You felt older than your years, not because life was easy, but because it required you to grow quickly. And here's what you didn't realize back then. The battle started early because the calling started early. The resistance came early because the marking came early. Hell does not attack what heaven has not anointed. The pressure you experienced was proof that your life was never ordinary. There were moments that should have broken you. Moments that should have ended you emotionally, spiritually, even physically. But somehow you survived. Somehow you stood back up. Somehow you kept believing, even if it was only by a thread. That thread was not luck. That was grace. That was the covering of Jesus over a life he had already claimed for purpose. You wondered why you felt isolated. Why you never fully fit in. Why you could be surrounded by people and still feel alone. But isolation was not rejection, it was protection. God was guarding your heart from being shaped by environments that could not handle your destiny. Chosen one, heaven marked you early because your life carries weight. You were not born to blend in with noise. You were born to carry presence. You were born to shift atmospheres without even trying. And the older you get, the more you begin to see that the pain, the pruning, the stretching, none of it was random. It was preparation. If this is speaking directly to your spirit, don't just listen silently. Comment the words. I was marked early. Declare it. Own it. Let heaven hear you acknowledge what it has always known about you. And if this message is strengthening you in a season where you've felt unseen, misunderstood, or spiritually exhausted, and you feel led to sow into this mission through super thanks or a donation, don't see it as a payment, see it as partnership. You're helping carry these reminders to other chosen ones who are barely holding on. Your support becomes someone else's breakthrough. You were marked early. And this is only the beginning of what God is about to reveal about who you truly are. Chosen one, heaven marked you early because your life was never meant to be loud. It was meant to be weighty. There is a difference. Loud people demand attention. Weighty people shift atmospheres without asking for it. And if you're honest, you've seen it happen. You walk into a room and something changes. Conversations shift. Energy adjusts. Sometimes people feel comfort around you. Other times they feel exposed. That is not your imagination. That is presence. You carry a quiet authority that was built through years of unseen battles. Authority is not given cheaply. It is forged in endurance. It is shaped through tears nobody applauded, through prayers nobody heard, through obedience nobody celebrated. You didn't develop this overnight. You developed it in hospital rooms, in financial stress, in family tension, in silent disappointments where you chose faith instead of bitterness. And here is the truth: discernment costs you something. Seeing clearly means you cannot pretend. Feeling deeply means you cannot ignore red flags. That is why certain relationships could not stay. That is why certain environments became uncomfortable. Your spirit outgrew places your heart once wanted to stay. That wasn't arrogance. That was elevation. At this stage in your life, you're not impressed by surface-level conversations anymore. You crave substance. You crave integrity. You crave alignment. Because once heaven marks you early, shallow living becomes exhausting. You cannot entertain what you've already outgrown. You may not have a global platform. You may not have public applause. But your consistency is your testimony. Your endurance is your ministry. Your stability in chaos is your evidence. People may not say it out loud, but they look to you when things fall apart. They trust your calm. They value your wisdom. They sense your steadiness. God preserved you for this maturity. The younger version of you could not have handled this level of clarity. But now you see patterns quicker. You recover faster. You guard your peace intentionally. Chosen one, you are not just aging, you are ripening. And heaven wastes nothing. Every lesson became leverage. Every heartbreak became discernment. Every delay became direction. You were never overlooked. You were being positioned for impact that doesn't fade with trends. And what God positions, no man can permanently block. Chosen one, the season you are stepping into now carries a different rhythm. It's not frantic like your earlier years. It's not driven by proving yourself. It's steadier, clearer. There is a quiet confidence rising in you that doesn't need validation to survive. And that is how you know growth is real. For years, you questioned yourself. You replayed conversations in your mind. You wondered if you were too much, too intense, too principled, too spiritually aware. But now something has shifted. You're no longer apologizing for the depth God placed inside you. You're no longer shrinking to fit into rooms that were never designed for your calling. Heaven marked you early, but maturity takes time. And now you are beginning to see why certain doors never opened. Why certain people walked away. Why certain dreams had to die. They were not punishments. They were filters. God was refining your direction so you would not waste your later years chasing what was never aligned with your true assignment. You've reached a place where peace matters more than popularity, where integrity matters more than image, where obedience matters more than applause. That shift is powerful. Because once a chosen one values peace over performance, nothing can manipulate them anymore. There is also a new boldness forming in you. Not loud, not aggressive, but firm. You are quicker to say no, quicker to step back from chaos, quicker to protect your time and energy. That's not selfishness, that's stewardship. You finally understand that your calling requires clarity, and clarity requires boundaries. This next season will not be about striving. It will be about alignment. The right connections will feel natural, not forced. The right opportunities will confirm what God has already whispered in private. And the wisdom you've gained through pain will begin guiding others without you even trying. Chosen one, you are not entering a season of decline, you are entering a season of influence. The seeds you planted in tears are preparing to bloom in peace. The prayers you prayed in secret are aligning doors in public. Heaven marked you early. But now you are walking into the fullness of what that mark truly means. Chosen one, if you've walked this far with me, it's because something inside you recognizes that this is not just encouragement, it's revelation. There has always been a quiet knowing in your spirit that your life carries weight beyond what is visible. And now, more than ever, that knowing is becoming clearer. You have spent years being faithful in small spaces. Faithful in responsibilities that didn't come with applause. Faithful in roles that felt ordinary on the outside but sacred on the inside. You showed up when you were tired. You prayed when answers were delayed. You forgave when your heart was still healing. That kind of faithfulness does not go unnoticed in heaven. There were moments you thought your obedience wasn't making a difference. Moments when you wondered if anyone saw the sacrifices you made. But the kingdom of God operates differently than the world. What is hidden here is recorded there. What is unseen here is rewarded there. And many of the breakthroughs coming into your life are not random blessings. They are accumulated responses to years of quiet obedience. You were being strengthened in places nobody else could see. The pressure built resilience. The waiting built trust. The disappointments built discernment. You are not the same person you were 10 years ago. You are steadier now. Less reactive. More grounded. That transformation is evidence of God's hand shaping you. And here is something powerful. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are learning to walk in authority. Authority does not shout. It stands. It doesn't panic. It trusts. You've noticed that certain storms don't shake you the way they used to. That's growth. That's spiritual muscle built through repetition of faith. Chosen one, the marking on your life is not fading with age, it is sharpening. The older you become, the clearer your vision becomes. You see what truly matters. You recognize distractions faster. You value eternal impact over temporary excitement. This is not the closing chapter of your influence. It is the deepening of it. Heaven marked you early so that later in life, you would stand as a pillar, stable, wise, and unmovable. And pillars are built to hold weight without collapsing. Chosen one, this is where everything comes together. Not in noise, not in hype, but in holy certainty. After all the years of questioning, after all the seasons of isolation, after all the battles that tried to convince you that you were forgotten, here is the truth that stands unshaken. You were marked by heaven, and heaven does not make mistakes. The same God who carried you through childhood confusion, adult disappointments, silent betrayals, financial strain, health scares, and emotional exhaustion is the same God who is still writing your story. You are not surviving by accident. You are sustained by design. Every breath you take is proof that your assignment is still active. Hear this clearly: no wasted season can cancel a divine calling. No delay can override destiny. No opposition can outvote God's decision over your life. When heaven marked you early, it sealed something permanent. And what God seals, no human opinion can erase. There are still chapters ahead that will surprise you. Not because they are easy, but because they will reveal strength you didn't know you possessed. You will look back and realize that the very things meant to limit you actually positioned you. The rejection built resilience. The waiting built wisdom. The loss built perspective. And now you stand in a place of clarity. Not perfect. Not flawless. But anchored. Rooted. Grounded in something deeper than emotion. You know who carries you. You know who covers you. You know who called you. So I declare this over you: you are chosen. You are protected. You are equipped. You are guided. And the hand of Jesus Christ rests upon your life. The remainder of your years will not be defined by what tried to break you, but by what God built within you. If this message confirmed what your spirit has always known, don't stay silent. Comment boldly: Heaven marked me. Let it be your declaration. And if these words strengthen you, encourage you, and remind you who you are in Christ, consider subscribing so we can continue walking this journey together. And if you feel led to support through super thanks or a donation, know that you are helping spread messages like this to other chosen ones who need confirmation that they are not alone. Your story is not ending. It is unfolding. And heaven is not finished with you yet.